Let's go over some investing mistakes to avoid if you are a beginner in the stock market or you're new to stocks. Let me save you some trouble, let me save you some heartache, and let me save you some money. Let's begin. Investing mistakes number one. If a company announces that they're going bankrupt, you should run away from that stock. You do not want to be buying into a company that has just announced or has announced that they're going bankrupt. The writing is on the wall. Here's what happens. If a company says that they're going bankrupt, the stock, it's going to continue to trade. They're not required to delist or anything. So if you're buying that stock that's going to go bankrupt, thinking that it's going to make a recovery, you're being foolish. More often than not, the stock gets wiped out. The shareholders get wiped out. The stock value goes to zero. If you're trying to do a quick flip, like buy low and sell a little bit higher, you're just gambling. Therefore, if a company announces they're going bankrupt, just don't mess around with it. I mean, you're just being foolish, or you're just gambling. Please avoid that mistake. Investing mistakes number two. Don't buy penny stocks from the over-the-counter market, the OTC. Just stick to your stocks on reputable exchanges. This is for beginners. If you are a beginner, just stick to the name brand exchanges. Buy stocks on the New York Stock Exchange, the NYSE. Buy stocks on the NASDAQ. Don't go to the over-the-counter markets. Don't buy pink sheet stocks. There's a reason why those companies, those stocks are over there. It's usually because they failed to meet the requirements to be listed on a reputable exchange, or that they got delisted. That doesn't sound too promising of a company in most instances. Therefore, especially if you're a beginner, please avoid the over-the-counter markets. That's very dangerous. Stick to the reputable exchanges. Stick to the stocks on reputable exchanges. Investing mistakes number three. Don't participate in the message boards, the online message boards. You do not want to open up that box. You're just going to be talking with internet trolls. What I mean is that you're just going to be talking with weirdos. They're not going to be adding value. You're not going to be having productive conversations. You're not going to be doing due diligence, talking with these internet trolls from these who knows the person behind the other side of that screen. You just don't go down that bunny hole. Please. Investing mistakes number four. If you are a beginner, do not try to be a day trader. Again, you are new to the stock market. If you're trying to go buy, sell, intraday, just constantly, you're going to end up losing money. You might have a good day or two, but it's just going to be luck. You can find out the hard way. Go ahead, be my guest. And then you're going to come back and then you're going to be like, oh yeah, Brian was right. If anything, you should, if you're new to the market, I would recommend just buying and holding for the long run. That would probably be the best strategy until you gain some experience and understand how stocks work, how the market moves, and all of that. If you want to be doing the buying and selling, if that's going to be the case, you should do swing trading, which is at least holding for a few days or a few weeks or a few months, like a longer hold period. If you're going to be trying to do this buy, sell intraday in the same day as a matter of minutes or hours, you're going to be losing to the professionals that do this with much more sophisticated software, with much more sophisticated teams, information, speed, everything. You're picking a losing battle. It's just my recommendation. Investing tips or investing mistakes number 5. Don't try to time the markets. We don't have crystal balls. Even the best stock pickers don't have crystal balls, meaning that we don't know the future. The stock can go up, down, go sideways, it can go who knows. The best approach, especially if you're a beginner, is if you want to get into the market with a staggered approach. Just little by little. Like you can set some money aside each month to deploy into the stock market, like a systematic approach. Like every month I will put in X amount of dollars. That way you're averaging in. At least you won't be buying at the very top, and unfortunately you won't be buying at the very bottom. It's going to be a mixed approach. So that's going to give you an averaging that will ensure that you're not overpaying. You won't be getting the best deal because you didn't time it perfectly, but you won't be overpaying. So just getting in with a staggered approach. Don't try to time the market. Because if you try to time the market, what happened back 10 years ago? If you were on the sidelines just saying, I think the market's going to fall, I'm going to wait for a huge dip, I'm going to wait for the next recession, you would have been on the sidelines and you would not have participated in all the gains for 10 years, and then you would have lost out. Therefore, just get in, little by little, each month or each few months. Investing mistakes number 6. Pay attention to the general markets. Okay, what this means is that this is all relative. You need to pay attention to the general market, the overall market, the macro environment too. During the good times, okay, this is very important. During the good times when the stock market's going up, everybody's going to look like a stock market whiz. Everybody's going to look like a stock market guru. Like they're going to look like a genius. So, if you're up like 20%, with your stock picks, but the general market is up 30%, then you're actually not that great of a stock picker because the overall market is performing better than you are. And during bad times, don't kick yourself and don't get upset with yourself if your stocks are going down, because you need to compare how much your stocks or your portfolio or your picks go down in comparison to the general markets. And I've said this before, if your stock picks or your portfolio is down 5%, but the overall market is down 20%, then you did great. You lost 5% when the overall market lost 20%, you outperformed the market. So you need to take into consideration the overall market, the general market. Investing mistakes number 7. If a stock is paying a too good to be true dividends, that's a red flag. I've covered this in the dividends stock video that I have out there. There's going to be stocks that have dividend yields of like 20%, of 25%. That should be a red flag. I would really be cautious heading into a stock like that. I would do extra analysis because in that type of situation, you're going to be thinking, that's awesome. Like, I'm going to earn 1% if I have my money, in a savings account, but I can earn 20% in dividends if I put my money in that stock. But here's the thing. Usually in that situation, it's too good to be true, a dividend yield of about 20% or higher. And what they're going to do usually is slash the dividends dramatically, or they could just pull the dividend, just wipe it out completely. And if that's the case, not only is the dividend gone, the share price will probably plummet like crazy and you'll lose your capital. Therefore, if you see a dividend paying stock with a yield that just looks insane, be very cautious. It could be a trap. Investing mistakes number 8. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is investing 101. You need to make sure you diversify. Don't fall in love with the stock. No matter how good, no matter how solid you think that stock or that company is, you need to diversify. Don't go all in. Don't go all in on one stock. I'll give you an example. Unfortunately, back in the days, you might have heard of a company called Enron, very reputable company, until they found out it was a fraud, and then it went to zero. there were very smart people, investors too, and employees of Enron. And you know what? A lot of people, employees of Enron, they had stock options. They had all their savings in Enron stock. With their investments outside of their stock options, they even bought more Enron stock. They're 100% all in on Enron, which was once thought to be such a reputable name brand company. One day it was found out to be a fraud, and it went to zero. And shareholders and people's retirements, their savings were wiped out because they didn't diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to diversify. Because even if you think that stock is untouchable, if you think that stock is impossible, to go down, to go to zero, it's possible. Anything's possible. You're reducing risk by diversifying and spreading your investment across multiple companies, because the chances of one stock going to zero is much greater than 100 stocks going to zero. So you need to diversify. Don't make that mistake. Investing mistakes number 9, look at the volume. This is super important because you want to make sure that you do not get stuck in that stock. Even if you buy a stock and the stock skyrockets, but there's no volume, you would be stuck in the stock and you couldn't even get out of that stock. You could not sell that stock for a gain. It's because it's not liquid. It's because there's no volume. So what does this mean in plain English? It just means that the volume is the amount of shares of that stock that are trading on any given day. So you need to pay attention to the volume of the stock and the average volume of the stock. If the average volume of the stock is very little, then you need to be careful, because if you bought that stock, you might be trapped in that stock, meaning that you could not even sell that position. So, it really depends on you. If you run across a company or a stock with an average volume of less than $10 million, be very careful. So how do you calculate that? So you look at the average volume of the stock, let's just say a million. So if the volume is 1 million, that means 1 million shares of that company trades on any given day. That's the average. And then multiply the volume times the share price. So let's just say the share price is $10 a share. So if you have 1 million shares trading each day at $10 a share, then the volume is $10 million worth of that stock trades on any given day. Therefore, if you wanna sell your stock, if the average volume is about 10 million, then you can probably easily get in and out of that company. Most companies on the NYSE, the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, or the NASDAQ, the volume, it's going to be in the hundreds of millions or even the billions. But if you are looking at a stock that has volume in dollar values in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, that is a red flag. Because again, it might be a trap, because you will literally be trapped in that stock and you could not get rid of it even if you wanted to. Investing mistakes number 10. If you do not have an emergency fund, that is a mistake. That is a problem. Because what's going to happen if you do not have an emergency fund and you're facing an emergency? What source of cash are you going to be looking for? You're going to be looking to liquidate your stocks. You're going to be looking to sell off your stocks. So if you don't have an emergency fund, you're going to sell off your stocks, and it might be a bad time to sell your stocks. If you needed money right away and you didn't have an emergency fund, and let's just say the stock went down sharply, and you thought, if you wait a few weeks or a few months or for the long run, it'll recover and it'll probably do really well. But if you're in a tough spot and you need money and you don't have an emergency fund, guess what you're going to do? You're going to sell the stock at probably the worst time, when the stock price is so low and things did not pan out the way you wanted because you didn't have enough time, because you needed the money now because you didn't have an emergency fund. I hear that story all the time. It's just how things work. So if you do not have an emergency fund, you should probably build that up first before putting money into the stock market. That's just my recommendation. I hope you enjoyed these investing mistakes. I hope you learned something, and hopefully you can apply these to make yourself become a better investor, especially if you are new to the stock market. If you do want to get started in the stock market, I recommend that you watch our other videos. We have a whole series, a good video library about people, what they should do and all the investing tips for people that are new to the stock market, who are new to stocks. And also, if you do want to get started in the stock market, you could use our affiliate link below. If you do use that, you will receive free stocks to get you started, kickstart your investing career. So thank you so much, and please subscribe and take care.